Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and on today's DIY Wednesday, in the effort to create storage where there is none, we are going to recreate a product I found on the Amazons. It's a We Can Make That Amazon edition. So I feel like I found this product because a company had emailed me asking if they could send me this product for me to test out. And so when I looked it up, I was like, no, I don't need you to send me that product to test because guess what? I can make that product and you all can make this product. Even though the price on Amazon is very affordable, we can all make it with very little skill, very little tools, and very little money. The thing we are DIYing today is the Amazon 5-layer wooden blanket ladder, 2-in-1 towel racks, blanket quilt holder rack, decorative ladder, storage ladder, quilt rack, blanket holder, ladder shelves for bathroom, living room, and bedroom. I know, such a small name for such a ginormous product, right? This blanket ladder is $19.99 on the Amazons. It is really darling. It's not a ladder that you lean up against your wall. It's actually a blanket ladder suspended with rope from a shelf. It is so freaking darling. So when I saw it, I was like, okay. Even though it's only $19.99, it's a wooden shelf with a closet rod dowel and some rope from the Dollar Tree. I mean, we can make that in an instant, and we are gonna make it in an instant. It's actually not very big at all. The shelf part is 7.87 inches, deep, and it's only 16.92 inches wide. It hangs 38.6 inches long. So I was doing the math and I was like, if you get a 6-foot long closet rod dowel, you can cut it into 4 rungs. That will give you 18 inches, which will make it a little bit longer than theirs, because 16 inches sounds long, but it's not long. And I want to be able to hang a blanket without having to fold it in half and then in half and then in half again. So 1 6-foot long closet rod dowel, an 18-inch board, and some rope from the Dollar Tree. That's all you need. And I'm gonna go look in my garage. I might have a closet rod dowel. You might have a closet rod dowel in your closet that you're not using, that you put out in your garage or just left in your closet, whatever. I'm sure you can find a piece of scrap wood around somewhere, and the only thing you'll need to buy is the rope from the Dollar Tree. So if we can get away with recycling a closet rod dowel, recycling a piece of board, and then only spending $2.50 on rope, it's a far cry from the $19.99 that Amazon is wanting, and I promise you, it is not going to take us that long to build at all. And it's gonna be super cute. So let's go hunt around the house, the garage, whatever. Go scavenge for a closet rod. Go scavenge for a piece of wood, and go get some rope from the Dollar Tree. And when we come back, we'll put this thing together. Okay, did you get your supplies? Are you ready? Because I got my supplies and I'm ready. So, Dollar Tree rope. I got 2 bundles, even though I think you could get away with 1 bundle because this little thin decorative nautical rope is 9.5 feet. So if you divided this in 2, it'd give you 38 inches, but I think I wanna double it up. So I bought 2. Now, this is the only thing I had to buy. Technically, I didn't even have to buy it because I already pre-bought it for another project and I didn't use it. But in case you had to go buy it, it's $1.25 or $2.50 if you bought 2. Now, I already have pre-cut my 6-foot closet rod dowel, which I didn't have to buy this either. I know, I really lucked out. I asked one of my friends, hey, because I looked in all my spare wood and we didn't have one. I thought I might, but I only had one that was 48 inches long. So I said to my friend, hey, you wouldn't happen to have a spare closet rod dowel, would you? Why, yes, I do. So I got my closet rod dowel for free. I've already chopped it down to 18 inches And I decided that instead of leaving it natural, I wanted to whitewash it. So I went ahead and just thinned out some white paint and rubbed it on like a stain. So I have my 4 18-inch dowels cut. I also have my shelf cut to 18 inches long, and I went ahead and pre-drilled in my holes for my rope to thread through. And I have another little thin piece of scrap wood. This is maybe like 2 inches that is going to act as the backer to our shelf, and this is how we will mount our shelf to our wall. So this is all you need. 18-inch piece of scrap wood, 18-inch piece of scrap wood, and 4 closet rod dowels and some rope. You're also gonna wanna have like a measuring tape of sorts so that we can measure our rope in between our dowels, and a drill and a couple screws so that you can screw your backing onto the back of your shelf. I also brought out my hot glue gun because I'm gonna do a slight variation of what is on the Amazons. What they did for the blanket ladder on the Amazons is they took their dowel and they drilled a hole through each side, and then they threaded the rope through and tied a knot at the bottom. Well, number one, for those of you who don't have drill bits that are that large to be able to feed your rope through, I wanted another option. Number two, even if you have a drill bit that is thick enough to be able to get your holes positioned exactly evenly on a round piece of wood is difficult. So if you drill one here and you're like, yep, this is the top for sure, before you know it, you're on this side and it's shifted a little bit. So now you've got a hole that's a little bit more forward compared to a hole that's a little bit more back. And I thought, number one, I don't want to mess with that. And number two, I told you guys this was gonna be quick and easy, and I don't want you to have to mess with that. So no holes will be drilled into our dowels. We're gonna do something different, and that's where our glue gun comes into play. The only holes you need to drill, and I tried to avoid this as well, but without wrapping the rope around like the edge to avoid having to drill a hole, you do need to have a drill bit that is pretty thick so that you can drill your 2 holes for the rope to come up through, and you're gonna tie a knot here to secure it. But for the dowels, we're just gonna wrap that rope around them, call it a day. So yeah, let's get started on assembly. Now that we have everything prepped, we're ready to go. So for right now, I'm gonna put my shelf backer and my shelf off to the side because I don't need those until last. I wanna start from the bottom rung and work my way up. On the Amazon one, like I said, they have knots under each one of the rungs and then a knot at the top shelf. I contemplated, which I might do. Since we have a knot at the top shelf, I was thinking about putting a knot at the bottom, so continuity, but you don't have to do that. That's the thing. You're not bound by the Amazon laws of their 5-layer wooden blanket shelf. You could do whatever you want. Like I said, I whitewashed mine. You could leave yours natural. You could stain it brown. You can paint it a bright color, whatever your decor is. I was also thinking like, this doesn't have to be just for blankets. You could use it in a bathroom to hang towels. You could use it in a kid's room. And maybe you wanna do the rungs like brightly colored. I was thinking like, what if you wanted to do like a red, a green, a blue? You could do whatever you want. Since you're DIYing it, this is yours. The possibilities are endless as far as what you want to do with paint, stain, what have you. And you can assemble it however you want as well. This is the thinner of the ropes that the Dollar Tree offers, but I like this more hemp looking. The other one was that thick, it's kind of whitish rope. I like the more like natural hemp look. And so what I was thinking, now we don't know if this is gonna work, but I wanted to tie a knot and hot glue the bottom of the knot to this bottom rung and then wrap this, boom, like so, and then go to my next rung and then wrap that. And then we're just gonna hot glue where we wrap the rope down to the wood so it doesn't shift or move or slide out or anything like that. I think I'm gonna play with it for a second. But you see, possibilities, endless. It's just gonna be on whatever you think looks best. Now, for this rope, I am going to save the ends that already are taped up so that I can slide them through the hole that I have drilled easier. I don't want frayed ends on the top part. So I'm gonna start folding this in half, cut here, and this is gonna be where I first tie my knot, if these scissors would cut it. Yes, like so. So now I just have to decide how I'm gonna tie the knot and where I'm gonna glue. So hold please while I figure that out. Okay, so I think I figured out how I want to construct the ladder rungs. I tied a knot at the bottom and I tried to use like as little rope as possible and try to make my tails as even as possible. Not that you can't cut them, but you know. So however far in you drilled your holes from the side of your shelf is how far in you want to wrap your rope. Mine is about 1.25 inches. So I'm gonna come in 1.25 inches. It's not gonna be exactly precise, but it's gonna be around there. So I'm gonna put a glue dot here at the 1.25 inch mark, and then I am going to split my rope and glue my knot at that point there. I want it to hold that knot. I'm gonna place it and hold it right at that glue dot until it dries. So now that we have that, I'm gonna take one of my ropes, wrap it around and bring it up. Take the other rope, wrap it around and bring it up. I'm gonna pull tight, and I think I'm gonna put a little glue dot under this one and under this one. I think that is a good idea, so that's what I'm gonna do. Put a tiny bit of glue, because I don't wanna be able to see it, and press that one down into place. So yay, that's what we have so far. First rung. Now, you just kind of have to decide how spaced out you want your rungs to be, still leaving you enough room to be able to thread this through your shelf and still tie off. I want my next rung to be at 10 inches. I mean, you kind of need these to be even. Put your little glue dot there. So I want this to go here. Yes, like that. You see? You see that? I'm gonna take this one that I did, wrap it around. I'll probably do another little glue dot here to hold that. Pull tight, wrap it around. Oops. Pull tight, wrap it around, and bring it up through the back. Awesome. Now, if you were only having one rope, way easier. Just wrap, go with one rope. But since I made it a little difficult for myself and I want to do 2 ropes, I gotta do this 2 times. So glue dot, boom, stretch this out. Because now that I have my 1 rope measured, I can just literally stretch this out and press down my other rope. I don't have to measure it because I'm just making it the same. Turn this, put another little glue dot behind, bring this rope up. So now we've got 2 rungs. Yay! And now I just need to do that 2 more times for this side and then 4 more times for that side. Okay, so I'm changing my mind because I have to. I was like, oh, you have 2 more rungs left, but it doesn't look like you have enough rope left. I only have this much more. And so I went 10 inches and I wrapped around, and then it only left me with this much rope. And that's not enough. Thankfully, I just put a couple little glue dots because we're gonna rip them off right now. And we're gonna remeasure. I'm thinking maybe I need to do like 8 inches, 6 inches, maybe 7 inches. So yeah, good news is you could just take it off and start again. It's not that big of a deal. We'll do 7 inches. I think that'll be good. I'm gonna space them out at 7 inches apart. They're not super, super close. It'll be right here, which I think that's cute. Okay, 7 inches it is. Okay, so I redid it again at 6 inches in between. 6 inches, it's nice, just the right amount of distance to leave me with just enough rope to slide through and tie a knot. And there'll probably be about that big of a gap between the first rung and the bottom of the shelf. And I'm okay with that. Now that we have this side done, we basically just need to flip it and do the other side to match. Now, that's gonna be the difficult part. Making sure they are all level, because you don't want one to be like that. Just be careful of that. Do your measurements, use your eyeballs to kind of like stretch them out and make sure that they're all as straight as can be, and do the same process on this side that I did on that side. So I wanna measure in my 1.25 inches. Looks about right to me. So yeah, all I need to do, vroom, vroom, vroom. Then we're pretty much done. Okay, it did take me a minute, but I got it. And I'd say for the most part, everything looks pretty straight. Now on this side that I just finished up gluing, I only used very minimal glue dots, like maybe 2. It gave me a little bit more flexibility as far as being able to move things if it was shifted. And then also when I have it hanging from the shelf, I can go in and put a little glue dot here and there if I feel like it's necessary. Now that we have our ladder rungs made, we can move that to the side, because all we need to do is screw in our backing to our shelf. I went ahead and pre-drilled my holes already. I have them marked here, and I brought in 3 screws. Use my handy dandy drill and screw these puppies in to my shelf. Dang it all. All right, and there we have our shelf. So what I'm thinking is, rather than try to tie the knots and make sure everything's even when it's laying down, I figured it'd be much easier to mount this than have gravity help us make sure everything was even. So I am gonna go mount this, and then we will finish it up. Okay, I had some trials and tribulations hanging the damn thing, but it's up and it's done and it looks super cute. Are you ready for the final reveal? Because here it comes. Dun, 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 dun. Look how cute. And I only used the first 3 rungs. The bottom rung is blanket free. I did put 4 blankets on, but since that bottom blanket is pretty thick, it kind of looked too bulky. So yeah, that blanket right there is the quilt I made for Davis when he was a baby. And then the other 2 blankets are just like, hey, there's blankets here if you get cold. So yeah, and look at its profile. It looks super cute. Look at it. And we made that for like free, basically. Now, I did have an issue and I added something to the shelf bracket for more stability. I'll show you. I added 2 little L brackets here because without them, I felt like this was dipping too far forward. So I just added some stability here underneath and used some molly bolts to hang it into the wall. Yeah, there it is, our Amazon blanket ladder, and it looks so cute. Yeah, so I'm reviewing the image from Amazon and the shelf portion of it. I just don't know how that is not gonna go like this. Because when I first hung it into the wall and just like went like this on the edge, like imagined that there were blankets weighing it down, my shelf fully went like this. That's when I decided, oh, I have some of those L brackets in the garage, so I put those in and it was much better. Also, what I didn't do, which I did redo, before screwing the back piece onto your shelf, you wanna put some wood glue there. So I did undo those screws, put wood glue, put those screws back in, then put the L brackets underneath, then mounted it with molly bolts into the wall, and now, mwah, it's perfect. And I love it so much. Now, for me personally, this 5-layer wooden blanket ladder was completely free. I used scrap wood for the shelf, scrap wood for the back of the shelf, a 6-foot closet rod dowel that I got from a friend, and rope that I had already purchased from the Dollar Tree. At the very most, for me personally, if I didn't have that rope, I would have spent $2.50 on the $20 blanket ladder from Amazon. And I did use paint I already had and just watered it down. So again, everything for the blanket ladder for me today was completely free. All it took me was a couple hours of my time. And I bet if you look around or go ask your neighbor, you could get a good majority of your supplies for this blanket ladder for free as well. And at the very, very most, you have to go out and buy a dowel. We already know that's $7. You go buy some rope, $2.50. You're in it for $10. I guarantee you have a little piece of wood. You could use a fence board. You could use pallet wood. You could use a shelf maybe that you already have that you just want to repurpose because you're not using it anymore. I guarantee you look around long enough, phone a friend, ask a neighbor, whatever, you could probably be just like me and build this Amazon blanket ladder for completely $0. And if you do, let me know in the comments below. So yay! Because I was able to hang those 3 blankets on that blanket ladder in Davis's room, it freed up a portion of a shelf in my hall closet. I know, organization. It's at a minimum in this house, so anywhere I can add and free up some closet space, I'm gonna do it. And you should do it too. So, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We're getting close to our goal of 15,000 subscribers. So, if you are not subscribed to the channel, what on earth are you doing? Please subscribe. It would make me so happy. If you like this channel and you want to support me and Editor John, there's one thing you could do, and it's subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you any money at all. Just hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.